after ravenously practicing modeling tutorials and trying to replicate real-life simple objects, you might ask yourself, and now what? Maybe you have the dream of becoming a content creator, a vendor, or a PA at a brokerage. In my honest opinion, in this novice beginner stage, it's too soon for that. So I'm going to crush that notion real fast, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. And after I told you why I think it's not a good idea, I give you some options what you could do instead until you're ready. So if you want to sell your models, you need to keep in mind a couple of things. For one, you need to be able to drop the copy phase and start to do your own concept developing. I advise you to not sell models based on actual existing objects because after all, you want to be a creator, right? So create, design your own models. And secondly, you need to be able to create what others would buy. And a good guide for that is asking yourself, would I actually buy this for myself? Would I pay good monies for it? And if the honest answer to that question is no, then you need to level up in experience to be able to raise your quality and then ask the question over and over again. And thirdly, if you offer your model for sale too soon, you run the risk of being heavily disappointed and demotivated, and both I wouldn't recommend in this stage. So what can you do? I'm going to tell you how I myself went through this. First of all, I never aspired to be a content developer at all, even though my journey led me down that path eventually after many, many, many years. But my goal initially was to become good at this 3D stuff, or as good as I could possibly be for illustration purposes. I did three things to gain experience and up my quality level. I was active in a fairly large modeling community, and we had a chat room to help each other out. What we frequently did were speed modeling challenges to practice our skill. And then you had a limited time of, for example, an hour or so to model a certain object. I remember one time we all made scissors, which might sound as a piece of cake, but in my haste, it was speed modeling after all. I managed to put the sharp side of the blade on the wrong end. So that was a learning experience. But speed modeling challenges are ideal to practice, and the fun part is you all try to create the same object, and it's very educational to see the results of others and talk about how different people tackled the same challenge. Now, if you cannot find the speed modeling challenge to enter, set one up yourself, post in the forums, and try to find others who are up for it. The model results can even be made into freebies. That is if they turn out well. My scissors failed that criteria. And talking about freebies, that is the second thing I did a lot. I made a mountain of freebies to practice the modeling skill. The added bonus you get out of offering freebies is that you can give back to the community, and the amount of downloads and comments motivate immensely and bring joy every time that download counter goes up. One thing regarding freebies I always find very important is that do not see a freebie as an inferior or unfinished product. Don't put out a freebie you are not 100% happy with. The tricky thing is, freebies are the first thing that will determine your reputation in the modeling world. Making bad quality freebies can repel people from future models you make, as there is already prejudice. And another thing is that if you throw together a quick and dirty freebie in 10 minutes, people won't use it. For example, if you make a pose in 10 minutes, everyone can do that. It doesn't give any value. Creating a good pose, however, can easily take up to an hour or even longer to make. The placement of the fingers and toes alone might take more than 30 minutes in itself, and no one wants Barbie robot hands on their characters. Instead, go for natural touches. Keep that in mind next time you see a post pack of 30 poses in the store and you think it's not worth the money because it looks so easy to do yourself. Believe me, not everyone can make good poses. It takes skill and time. What we used to do in 3D chat is to try to get our freebies in the top 10 of downloads. That was really fun. And at one time, we almost maxed out the entire top 10 ranking list with freebies from modelers in our 3D chat. It's good to aim for an accomplishment, and in a team or a part of a group, it's even more exciting. The third thing I did for years and still do occasionally is to enter contests. A good amount of competition is excellent for motivation, and the hope that you might win a prize makes the creation journey even more entertaining. Even if you don't win anything, you always have an awesome render to put in your portfolio or gallery. Maybe it's fun if I show some of my contest entries and tell you a bit about the concept development and what went on behind the scenes. This is a contest entry I did ages ago. It was for a big Renderosity contest called In the Court of the King Frog, something along those lines. And back then I didn't have ZBrush, so all was made in C4D and body paint. And I had great joy with character development. In concept creation, I like to put myself in the shoes of the character. What would a king frog like to do? So hanging out in a bathtub all day seemed kind of fitting. And I cannot blame him. I love to soak in the bathtub as well. I didn't win a prize in this contest. However, I did got contacted by an author of a C4D book asking if they could publish the render in the book as an example what is possible with the software. So that was very cool. I still have the book. I'll show you another one. I called this one Titanium Solitude. I am big into science fiction, especially Star Trek, and I'm very intrigued by humanoid robots, so androids. I even had a crush on Commander Data from Star Trek The Next Generation, and I love Vulcans. Those are kind of embarrassing confessions. One of my friends asked me what kind of man I liked. And so he said, apparently, I like highly intelligent and Emotional, unavailable man. How awful is that? But anyway, this render concept development was very important, and I was in a song lyrics writing phase at the time and made the words visual. And the concept was there had been an apocalypse and humanity perished. And all was left was this artificial life stuck in a cave with its conscience fully operational. And it existed in that cave for billions of years, and at some point, new species evolved on the planet and visited that cave. And they started to worship the android as a god, but it had no way to communicate with living beings. So, a very tragic, heartbreaking story. I won't sing the actual song I wrote because that surely loses me the 3 subscribers I've got. But I recite the chorus as it captures the sentiment really well. Here it goes. Forever surrounded in solitude, every waking day and night. Please listen to my silent pleas. It isn't meant to be this eternal life. And with this entry, I did win a prize, so that was really fun. So to recap, speed modeling challenges, freebies, and contests is a nice way to gain experience in the modeling skill while getting motivational triggers. Even if your goal isn't to become a content developer, this is a great, useful journey to be able to make your own objects for your own renders. Now, I hope to see some cool models and renders you create. Next time, I'm going to talk about actual content creation for sale. So, if you don't want to miss that, subscribe and ring the bell. And thank you. Make it a great day. And I'll talk to you later.